Welcome back, everybody, to Unconditional Surrender, me, myself, and I playthrough of the main event scenario. Game is published by GMT Games, designed by Salvatore Vasta. We are about ready to enter into the Western Operations phase of October 1943. The weather stayed fair in both the cold and the mild zone. The Germans did manage to push us out of Nantes, so our supply situation could be an issue. However, in doing so, they had to leave themselves slightly vulnerable to a British counterattack, which is what I'm going to, attempt to do right now. So first off, the British are going to activate the 1st Canadian, the national oil thingies, and put them over here. That's 2. And then they're actually going to go 1, 2, and they're going to attack this unit. So the British start off at +1 because they're British, +2 of armor in fair weather, and the German garrison unit starts off at a 0. So right now I'm a +3 to a +0. And I really want to kind of make sure that I annihilate this thing. So I'm actually going to go ahead and throw this sortie from an airplane to give me an extra +2. So I've got a +5 to a 0. And that cost me 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 6 movement points left. Not minus 6 points, but 6 movement points left. There we go. So, +5 to a 0. 4 plus 5 is a 9. Germans roll a 1. That's an eliminated, I think. Yes, that's an eliminated. So, that was not, I was hoping for a retreat. Okay, I'm back. I had to run and do something there. The British had a 9. The Germans rolled a 1. So they were eliminated. They don't get a will point for that, but unit is eliminated. Now, this is a sort of a tricksy thing that you have to do with the British. You get, you're going to get one of these because you eliminated a unit in mobile attack. And the British can take that hex. Now they have 6 movement points left. Right now the best are going to be +5 to +4, or +4 to +4. So they're going to take 1 attack there. And this is the lovely thing about no enemy zone of control, is that you can do more than one thing at a time. So they're going to go ahead and spend 3 movement points. It's 2 for the city, 1 for the unit. They will be attacking at a net of, they start off as +1 for British, +2 for armor, -1 for attacking the city, and then +2 for another airplane. They'll throw the 2nd RAF at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then so they end up at a net of +4, and the Germans are also a +4. So we're taking 1 attack here to see if we can push them out and see how it goes. The British roll. 4 plus 4 is an 8. Germans roll. 6 plus 4 is a 10. 8 to a 10 is a diamond. And now you have to kind of make a decision here with the British. Do you want to take a chance? Because you could have the Canadian move to 3210, which would then have the 5th Panzer be isolated, and you can move the BEF up to attack. 1, 2, they probably would get 2 attacks. You have 2 tanks markers. They could get 2 attacks on Nantes with it being isolated, so they would be +5, 6, 7, +6 to +4. But if you fail, there's going to be German armored and infantry coming, and could very likely cause me to have to evacuate the 1st Canadian with it when they do an assault. So, and I also would be out of supply. If I go to 3210 and the attack fails on Nantes. I am definitely out of supply because I'm cut by a zone of control. So that's another thing that you have to think about here. If I'd have been thinking right, I probably should have started with the BEF to do this, because then I would have had 3 attacks on Nantes, but I didn't. So I kind of want to play conservative here, so I'm just going to do another attack at 4+4. I'm not going to take that hex and get the isolation. I'm just going to go +4 to +4. And then I'll have a couple of attacks with the BEF at the same kind of attacks. So here we go. The British roll 5 + 4 is a 9. The Germans roll 3 + 4 is a 7. 9 to 7 is a diamond. So that ends the first Canadian's activation. This goes back on the freaking gun. Why is it I always end up covering up my spaces with this stuff? Okay, then we're going to activate the BEF. And it's going to go 1, 2, and attack here. So that's 5, so it has 5 left movement points. We will throw in a tanks marker and another sortie. We actually added a sortie from last turn. So we'll throw in a sortie from Plymouth for this attack. So that gives me 1 for British, 2 for armor, 2 for airplanes, so total of 5 minus 1 for the city. So it's +4 to +4 again. And the British roll 2 + 4 is a 6. Germans roll 2 + 4 is a 6, and then we do that again. And the British will throw in another tanks marker, just going for all of it. And at this point, I'm actually going to go ahead and throw in an ultra marker 2 to give me an extra +1. So this time I'm +5 to +4, since it's my last attack. And we roll, the British roll 3 + 5 is an 8. The Germans roll a 1 + 4 is a 5. I think that might be, it's barely enough to get a retreat. So the 5th Panzer is retreated out of Nantes. So the BEF will take that space, so we have our port back. Then I got to put stuff on the turn track here. Both tanks markers will go into next turn. We roll for the Ultra, and that's a 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, coming back in February. And that gives us a pretty good coverage here. We will have next thing we're going to do is we're going to go up here and we're going to activate this unit for the Americans, and we're going to have the fleet and the convoy carry those units. So just put them all in a stack here, and we go 3 and 4 into 7. Now at this point, the Germans don't have their surface, so it doesn't matter. And then 5, and then, oh no, I can't do this first. I'm sorry, I'm doing it backwards. I can't activate that. Because I can't land here because there's units there. So this one had to activate first. It moves here along with its fleet. Fleet goes up to 2. This one goes up to 1. And then this one will land, all this will land in Brest. Sorry, I forgot I had to move the other fleet first. And then these guys all take sorties for that. So, kind of a little mini breakout. If I'd have been thinking with the Germans, I would have actually attacked with the 12th Infantry, because then I would have had better defense. So, There's a mistake. Don't make that mistake when you're defending in France. Because now it is highly unlikely that the Germans will be able to do anything to this this bridgehead on the Brittany Peninsula. They might be able to pull off like an attack to recapture Nantes with a proper assault or something, but I doubt it. And yeah, things are not going well. This is the same kind of thing that happened to me when I was the German in my previous game, which I lost horribly in October of 1944. I just don't see any way to stop this whole push into Brittany in the late turns of 43. For the other things for the West to do, should they go ahead and do this? Let's see, I better make sure I spent my numbers right. I know I didn't. So that's 2 more I spent for the British. I can spend 2, 3. Yeah, what the heck. It's poor down here, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to clear an assault there. The British 8th Army goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to join into that assault. And then we're going to just go ahead and move the 9th Army up here before we resolve the assault, just so I can be done. So that's 3 more, so the British are down to 25. Again, before I resolve the assault, I will go ahead and move the RAF up to here. Take a sortie. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The American airplane can reach there, so he'll just add in. So here we go. I don't think the odds are all that great here, but we'll have the Americans be the primary. So start off as +1 American, +2 for armor. The British 8th Army is adding in, so that's +2. And because I have both kinds, I could add either airplane. I'm going to add the Americans for another +2. So that puts me at +7. The Germans start off at +2. But then I have to take off for terrain and bad weather. So I lose 1 for the river, or the ridge line, and 1 for the city. So that's -2. And then another 1 because it's poor weather. So it's a +4 to a +2 assault to try and break this defense line. And we'll see if we do it. The Americans are all 5 + 4 is a 9. The Germans are all 3 + 2 is a 5. 9 to 5 is a DR. So we do push them back. They will retreat to there. I think since the American airplane can't reach really, I think I'll go there with the British armored unit. Because I can always retreat back across this hack. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he couldn't do that. He would have to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. He can't attack with his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can't attack with these infantry. Well, if we get fair weather, he can do stuff down here. But we broke across this ridge and river line into where this is, Bologna. So, kind of, I don't know if that's the Gothic line or whatever line that is supposed to represent. So we pushed him back to the River Po. Let's see how this goes. I'm doing pretty well with the West. I think boy, I think with the British I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I think I'm done with, oh no, I wanted to go ahead and get these guys 1, 2, 3 to 17. 4, 5 for the straight. 6 into 16. 7 into 7. And then 8, and then landing in Southampton. I think I can go into Southampton. That's an airplane, right? Yes. So, oops. And then taking a sortie on each of those. Sooner or later, I'm going to have more units to be transporting in here. So, just going ahead and getting my stuff. Having Force H sitting there is kind of nice because even if he has his interceptor boat, his surface action, Force H kind of laughs at it a lot, unless it's poor weather. So, yeah, okay. Now I got to do support. I got 1, 2, 3. So he's just going to go ahead and take 2, and he'll take 1. Actually, he'll take 2, and he'll take 1. Oh, wait, that's the fleet. Excuse me. I thought so. This is the British. He'll take 1, and the Americans will take 2 to keep these 3 units in supply. Okay, and then I got to do Italy. The American convoy takes 2 for its airplane and its ground unit up here. The British have 3 ground units and an airplane, so they will take 2 on each of these convoys. And, yep, that's basically it. So, late October, we did a punch-out in France. I don't think we're going to be able to run very far in poor weather next turn, but we did do something. So, believe that that's going to be it for the British. It's a little bit shorter turn than normal, but I have a feeling I have a lot to do with the Soviets, so I'm going to break the British turn here. That was the Western October 1943 turn. I'm Dren608. If you like the videos that you're seeing, please subscribe so you don't miss any in the future. And we will be back shortly with the operations phase for the Soviets. And depending on how long that goes, I may actually have to make a 4th video just to do the end of turn stuff. One of the reasons why I show you the end of turn stuff instead of like doing it offline is that it actually matters on the sequence. Depending on what the Germans do, like in the last production phase, the Germans didn't renew an airplane in Russia. And so the Russians had to make a decision, and they decided, well, I'll leave one down too so that I can, do some other things. So sometimes it makes a difference on exactly what the guy going before you does. So that's why I do the end of turn stuff for everybody, so you can actually see some of the decisions that have to be made. So we'll be back in a little bit with the Soviet turn, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.